Our next speaker, Senator Nan Orrock, who's a great supporter of students from around the state.
Well, thank you very much, Azadeh. I stand today with you to say we are all immigrants. America is a country built on immigration. We must stop this law. Does Georgia want to go down in the history books turning students away from higher education? It is an insanity that is indefensible. We have wonderful generation of young people who are saying, we crave higher education. We want to develop our skills and our talents. We want to give back to this nation that we have made our home. And I, as a person of conscience, cannot stand here silent while efforts are being made to slam the door in the face of these students. It's going to be a steep haul, but I take heart from the perspective of Dr. Martin Luther King. His words are carved on the wall of his national monument in Washington. And that is, we shall overcome because the moral arc of the universe is long, but it bends towards justice. It bends towards justice. We are on the right side of history. We are on the right side of history. These legislators that have introduced yet again onerous, really despicable legislation that goes against what our educators in higher ed have advised. And I'll tell you, did you hear the other night about Arizona? There was a piece saying, and this is in the New York Times, there's a piece saying, in Arizona, they have lost their bloodlust for more anti-immigration legislation. The senator who introduced the awful legislation to run immigrants out of the state of Arizona, he was run out of the Arizona Senate. He was defeated. That's history moving forward. So Arizona, that has been out here on the forefront, on the cutting edge of anti-immigrant legislation, is backing down. The business community there, 500 businesses signed asking, please, no more anti-immigration legislation. We need to bring those voices to this table here. We've lost $300 million in our agricultural economy in 6 months, damaging our agricultural economy at the level of $300 million, supported by the University of Georgia Studies and Analysis with the bill that was passed last year, House Bill 87. This is another chapter. It's driven by right-wing ideology. It is not in the interest of this state. It is not in the interest of our economy. It is not in the interest of a bright future for Georgians to slam the door on students who are saying, we come to you seeking educational opportunities. I applaud you. I applaud the bravery, the young men and women who are standing here today and bringing this message, as well as the many organizations across Georgia and the faith community that are standing with them. We will stand and we will fight until this battle's won. Thank you all for being here.
Our next speaker is Representative Pedro Morain, another great supporter of rights for students. Thank you.
Good morning. Buenos dias. Today, we again focus our attention to the issue of immigration. Again, there are legislators who believe that this particular issue is a priority in Georgia, and somehow our actions will lead to greater economic prosperity and reduce government costs. HB 59 and SB 458 are worse than any other anti-immigrant bill that has come before us for one reason. It is the only policy that seeks to punish infants and toddlers for their actions of their parents. I stand before you today in total opposition of HB 59 and SB 458 because it's immoral, unjust, un-American, and will only further embarrass to our state to the word. The bill wants to deny undocumented students the right to attend publicly funded college, universities, and technical schools. They want to argue about fairness, opportunity, and not rewarding individuals who have broken the law. If you listen to them closely, the young students who aspire to earn a college degree and partake in the American dream are relegated as nothing more than common criminals, to be objective and scorned. Nothing can be farther from the truth. Many of the students who will be impacted by passage of this ill bill conceived legislation were brought to the United States when they were infants and toddlers. They did not conspire with their parents or play any role in convincing those who care for them to violate the law. The children eventually grow up and see themselves as American, even thought their status says otherwise. For the Georgia House of Representatives and the Senate to purposely deny these young people access to public higher education speaks volumes of our values as a legislative body. In all honesty, I wonder who are the real criminals. The students who have no say in their past, or those who want to destroy their future. Yet, the fault does not fall solely on some of my colleagues. The U.S. Congress shares some responsibility in this bill even being ever drafted. If they have passed the DREAM Act in their Senate, the young immigrant students who have enjoyed the opportunity to live out their dreams and positively contribute to our economy and to our country. Now, we will have thousands of college-ready and willing students who will be reduced to second-class citizenship with no viable option for upward mobility and achieving their goals. How is this good for Georgia? I ask of you to keep your voice in opposition to this horrific bill and tell the young immigrants, men and women of Georgia, that we will not punish you for the actions of your parents. Tell them we value their minds and talents. Tell them we value their humanity and right to exist as human beings. Tell them Georgia is not a state that promotes hate, ignorance, and political exploitation. Tell them to say no to HB 59 and SB 458. Thank you. Ms. Yall.
Hello, good morning. My name is Nayeli Quesada, and as of today, my worst fears came to life when college application deadlines were around the corner during senior year in high school. All my applications were ready to go, except for who was I kidding myself? Who was I fooling? I knew I didn't qualify for financial aid. I knew I couldn't pay in-state tuition. I graduated with a diploma in one hand and in the other, a fist of anger. I was angry at my counselors and my teachers for planting this dream of going to college, something that I could not go to. I was disappointed in the Georgia university system. I spent 2 years working, helping out my family. I would review my workbooks from school so I wouldn't forget some of the stuff I learned. I researched my options to continue my education without costing me an arm and a leg. I found Freedom University, and there I found more students like me with shattered dreams, but hungry for education. To me, being a student at Freedom University means that our dream for higher education still exists, and that we will not give up until our dream has come true. Freedom University is a volunteer-driven organization that provides rigorous college instruction to all academically qualified students, regardless of their immigration status. Our faculty is fully committed to providing our students with college courses equivalent to those taught at the state's most selective universities. We believe that all Georgians have an equal right to a quality education. Separate and unequal access to higher education contravenes this country's most cherished principles of equality and justice for all. My name is Nayeli Quesada, and I am here today to give my dream a voice and a face. Please say no to HB 458. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Andrew Epstein. I'm an educator at the University of Georgia. I'm also a member of Freedom University, and I just want to make a quick remark as an educator at the University of Georgia. There is a crisis in higher education in this state, and I see it firsthand. I see the students getting more affluent. I see the student body getting more exclusive. I see fees going up. I see tuition going up. We just found out last week that only 3.6% of all Hope scholarships go to African American students. But instead of focusing on the crises that face higher education, this Senate Republican leadership has taken up the worst traditions of Georgia politics by scapegoating our undocumented neighbors, our brothers and sisters, our friends, the 300 students that still remain in the University of Georgia system. What does that speak of the priorities and politics of these senators who would rather scapegoat these students than actually tackle the issues that are facing our higher education system? Now, I am a member of Freedom University, and it is a beautiful organization. And I see students there that are incredibly intelligent, incredibly inspired, who trek out hours away from home to get a 3-hour class on a Sunday afternoon when they could be doing literally anything else. But we're a volunteer organization. We have 4 teachers. There's no reason why we should be absorbing the responsibilities that have been neglected and relegated by this state in their quest to make this public education system a private elite domain of only the most affluent students in Georgia. That is not the vision of public education I want to be a part of. That was not the purpose of the Hope Scholarship, and we cannot let them to continue to hijack higher education and scapegoat undocumented students. Thank you.